Nintendo is under fire once again after adding a clause to their end-user license agreement that asks users to waive their right to join a class action lawsuit. Joy-Con Driftgate? Anyone? Users can still sue individually, or they can waive the arbitration notice by sending a written letter to Nintendo of America's office. But Nintendo is instructing users to contact customer service instead, as most matters can be quickly resolved in this manner to our customer satisfaction. Which is fair enough. In which case, you shouldn't need an you shouldn't need to
have a thing that waives arbitration.
Yes, thank you. That's the words I was looking for. Appreciate you. I knew you were here for a reason when I do all the talking.
Does that hold up in court? Like, I know you can't answer this, but like,
I think if you give people the right to waive it, there's a solid chance. And I mean, realistically, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this again. Realistically, it's kind of like the whole warranty thing. It's not about whether Nintendo's allowed to do that.
Okay, apparently Legal Eagle said no as well, yeah.
It's about what are the obstacles and what are the...
This will muddy the waters for sure.
It'll muddy the waters, it will make it take more time, and it will make it more expensive.
Yeah.
So even if you could go out and get like an outstanding lawyer who could be like, actually Nintendo, no. The barrier to entry is going to be higher to break through this.
Yeah.
And that's what Nintendo's doing. That's what creating...
It almost feels like a reminder of who they are. Because we already know from personal experience that lawyers are scared of Nintendo. Remember? We
do know that.
Yeah.
We do know that.
So this almost feels like a reminder, or like a, don't open the gate, there's a dog,
Yeah.
You can see the dog, you can hear the dog, but there's also a sign. This feels like the sign.
It's just, man, it's frustrating. And I think it's also one of those things where they're creating an environment.
Nintendo is the gorilla.
Yeah.
We had to fund the 100 men, which was the lawyers. Anyway, sorry. Can 100 lawyers defeat Nintendo?
It also feels like they're trying to make the individual user feel like, I mean, even the simple fact of us talking about this is going to make Nintendo's users feel like, oh, it's pointless because they're doing this arbitration thing. I'm not going to send no letter. Ain't nobody got time for that. So realistically, I've agreed to this. So, whatever. And the stupidest part is what Nintendo said is completely true. They could satisfy people by just sending them a new stupid Joy-Con. So then why do they need this clause? Just in case they decide they don't want to. And that's where I get back to the whole warranty thing. That's why every warranty has outs in it, because it's written for the protection of the company and has nothing to do with protecting the user. And it doesn't matter how good guy they are and how trust me bro they are. At the end of the day, it just comes down to their willingness in that moment with that current leadership team, because those change, to honor your request. So Nintendo knows that they could fix this problem by sending you a new flipping Joy-Con, but they're putting this clause in to make sure that if they are ever in a position where they don't feel like it, they don't have to.
The interpretation,
or at least people will think they don't have to.
Read elsewhere was that this was like, is this actually really about Joy-Cons? So I thought this was
no, it's probably not
modding switches.
I don't think it's about Joy-Cons.
Them being able to brick your Switch.
Oh no, that's a separate one.
Oh,
that's the other one. Separately, they have updated the account agreement to reserve the right to make your console permanently unusable, aka brick it, if you lease, rent, sublicense, publish, copy, modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble all or any portion of the Nintendo account services. Bruh.
Nice. This was the topic I was reading. That's why I was
confused. 1000% do not own the Nintendo console you buy anymore, which would be fine. It would be more fine if we were still in the era of like carts that actually had all the game data on them, and that actually worked completely without Nintendo's online services, but is way worse in the era of carts that don't have game data on them.
That's gross.
And that Nintendo can just decide at some point, or could stop existing at some point, however unlikely, and they just like don't work anymore, and it's like illegal or whatever to try to get it working.
I think they can probably ban individual carts too.
Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy.
I wonder if they detected that a cart was being used too many times, if they would ban it.
I don't know.
If there's a uses.
I do think this is one of those things that, again, they'd probably want to be too trustworthy a bro to just do this all the time, but it does definitely give them tools to go after the modding community, especially anyone who's trying to unlock homebrew gaming on their Switch too, in a way that they potentially haven't before, and especially anyone who tries to enable any kind of online functionality. I think that's the thing that this is mostly going after, especially because they make it clear that this is part of the account agreement, and they are specifically referring to Nintendo account services. Either way, it is very clear that Nintendo is tightening the noose when it comes to emulation, console hacking. Look, as someone who buys my Nintendo games, like, this doesn't impact me financially, but as someone...
I suspect this will change the purchasing decision of extremely few people.
But as someone who really likes emulation for lots of other reasons, and as someone who cares about archiving and preserving game history, I am not stoked, is what I'll kind of say about that. This is a great comment in chat from Hathos says 1 million plus people playing Tears of the Kingdom before launch on Yuzu really set Nintendo down a harsh path, and I guess I can understand that to a degree. I mean, it's not like Nintendo doesn't have evidence, like real hard evidence to point to that they have been impacted, and if you're gonna pull out that tired argument that there's no proof that piracy ever affected the income of those million people wouldn't have bought the game, and stop. Really? You're going to tell me out of 1 million people, none of them?
It's not a 1-to-1.
You can actually stop now.
There was cases back in the day, I think with like Napster and stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Where the lawsuit was based on a 1-to-1 loss, which is why people quote that, which is legitimate.
Obviously stupid.
Yes,
Nintendo did not lose out on 1 million sales.
I think it's,
but it also wasn't zero.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle, but I think it shifts closer towards the zero side than the million side, and significantly closer towards.
Either way, if it was 10%.
Then it's still...
If it was 5%,
it's still a lot.
It was a big number.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line, right?
A large sum of dollarinos.
Is companies will only ignore this stuff until it hits their bottom line hard enough that the cost of dealing with it, iron-fisted, is less than the cost of absorbing these activities. And that's where we're at.
I think Nintendo's opinion on that is a little bit more on the rather deal with it iron-fisted side.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Given their precedence.
Unique username goes, actually, with the correct spelling, ACKSCHUALLY. Pirates helped Nintendo sell more copies by word of mouth. Oh, that argument is also exhausting. It's like
very good.
It literally makes me tired immediately. I know you're kidding. I know.
Keep it up.
I know you're kidding, but when I see that kind of stuff unironically, I'm just like,
you gotta wear them down.
I'm so tired. Also, if you think that Nintendo cares at all about word of mouth marketing, may I present Exhibit A? Every game streamer that they've ever stomped on who's like speedrunning their games or like doing something really cool, like collecting all the Korok seeds or whatever that Nintendo has DMCA'd. Nintendo don't give a fuck at all about word of mouth marketing. I tell you what.